everyone. Today I'm going to start the discussion of what I've read so far in Kira Cass's The Betrothed. I loved her selection series and I really wanted to do a video just kind of recapping my impressions of the book so far, as well as my review at the end, just because I'm so jazzed for this book and I want to share it with everyone. So first of all, this cover is so gorgeous. I can't even. Stunning. So stunning. You can't even, it's so much more beautiful in person. I can't even tell you. So I'm about halfway through it so far. I just have thoughts. I have thoughts about how I'm enjoying it so far. I should preface this that I'm not going to spoil the book entirely, but I am going to be giving spoilers. If you don't want to listen to any spoilers and want it to go in completely blind, then please do not watch this video. If you want, you can probably watch the last 2 minutes and you can see my overall impressions. Or if you just want my basic surface impressions, then you can go into my Goodreads and see my review of the novel after I finish. Hollis gets a little bit intimidated by this attention, but also intrigued by this attention. So her parents are very strict, but also judgmental of every choice that she makes. And so I think the fact that she has this king just fawning attention over her for who she is really attractive. I don't know if she starts to fall for him, but she definitely is feeling very intrigued by the concept of becoming queen. She also has a friend named Delia Grace who has a scandal surrounding her family, which is kind of frowned upon that Hollis has made friends with her, but Delia Grace seems to be a really big sense of support for her in the court. The family decides to seek refuge there from their old kingdom of Isolt to Koroa, where Hollis is. The member of the family, who's a young man named Silas, she feels a really strong connection with. Things are happening with Silas. Right now, the king from Isold is visiting and she's not been officially proposed to yet, but it's very clear that the king is setting her up to be his betrothed. But he hasn't officially proposed yet, so it's obvious that King's moving towards in that direction, and she's kind of intrigued by another man, so drama there. I really like Hollis. I think she is a different character than what we've seen before. One of the things that Kira Cass was criticized with in her selection series was her world building, which I totally agree. I really still loved the selection series, but I think her world building was probably her weakest point in the selection series. It got better as the books moved on, but it definitely was not the greatest. I'm not gonna lie. But the world building for this is a lot better and a lot stronger, and Kira really thought it out. So I really liked seeing that from her. And yeah, the thing that I'm intrigued by is where it's gonna go. I really have no idea. I really am not sure how this is going to play out, which I like in a book. Sometimes, like romances or YA stuff, I usually can predict what's going to happen, or it's predictable. And sometimes I still like the journey for it, but sometimes it's predictable and it's like, oh, I already knew that was going to happen. This one, I really have no idea what direction it's going in. I have some ideas, but I don't know what it's going to play out as, which I kind of love about it. Right now, the king from the other kingdom, Isold, is visiting with his queen, and Hollis is kind of entertaining his queen because because the king's putting her forward as his potential queen. The king from the other kingdom is not considered a great guy, and there's some concern about that. So I feel like it could go a really dark place. And these two kingdoms have they have a peace right now, but they kind of fight over their borders a little bit. So I could see this going in a different direction. I feel like this is the first book in the series. I believe there's a second book. I think it's only going to be a 2-book series, but I honestly am not sure. I mean, I think right now it's set up as to only be 2, but we'll see. I don't think Kira's finished the second one yet, so we'll find out what it's going to come to. But I'm low-key excited about this, guys, so far. I'm really, really enjoying it. I am really, really interesting to see what happens at the end. I'm sure it's going to leave me in a cliffhanger. I'm going to want the second book right away. But I'm super excited about this. I'm really loving the story. I'm glad Kira is going in a totally different direction. I feel like there's some similarities with the love triangle, which is something she did in the selection before. But I think with a whole new host of characters, I feel like there's a different tone to it and a different story and a different voice, and I'm excited about that, and I've been enjoying it so far. When I finish it, I'm definitely going to wrap up this video, and I will let you guys know what my final thoughts are on about it. So until then, I'll be back.
This is Pee-wee. He's reading the book with me. Say hi, Pee-wee. And I like the fact that he's gold.
and matches the book. See? Oh my god, some of the lines in this book just kill me. Look at this. It was different from what Jameson had said about me. A dozen times before, he'd said I was the sun, bright but distant, shining on everything in reach. Being Silas's son alone made me feel like I had a reason to rise in the first place. That's a killer line, guys. Like, so killer. I can't... There's so many good lines. I'm back, everyone. I finished Betrothed. Oh my god. It went somewhere. Like, I still feel like I'm processing things. I finished it last night. Kira casted a question and answer on Twitter on Tuesday when the book released, and I went and checked it out and seen some of the answers that she had. So I was really intrigued to see that she mentioned that this was going to go dark. And it did. It went there. So for those who maybe don't know, the selection series was based off of the book of Esther from the Bible. Kira's a really strong Christian, so she was inspired by the book of Esther to write Selection. When I was reading it, I was wondering if this book was inspired by another book in the Bible. And I was thinking to myself, I don't really recognize any of them. And in the same Twitter question and answers, she mentioned that she was inspired by the book of Ruth. And I thought to myself, I mean, I know my Bible. I thought to myself, I don't remember what happens in the book of Ruth. And then I did. If you don't want spoilers, I recommend not looking up. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was so different than the Selection series. I felt like there was a lot of similarities, not gonna lie, but I think there was a lot that was different, and it went someplace that I didn't expect, and I like that in a book for sure. To continue on, as I mentioned, I was going to give minor spoilers, but nothing actual. I'm not going to spoil the whole entire book. Hollis has to make a decision by the end of the book. She has to make a couple of decisions, actually. One of the decisions that she makes, I felt like was too hasty. I was a little bit disappointed about how that was written. I'm not going to lie. I feel like there should have been a little bit more of a conflict, a little bit more internal turmoil, instead of just kind of up and deciding. It happened a little bit too soon for me. And then the last decision that was quite an intense decision. And that one was more expected. I thought that, again, I thought her world building was really great. I'm really excited what she's going to do with the next book. The second book's going to be taking place in a different part of the same world. So I'm really interested to see where that is and what's that going to look like. I have ideas of what's going to happen in the second book, at least a couple ideas, but I don't know, was it going to get darker? I don't know. This ending was quite dark. There's a lot that happens in the last 50 pages. I feel like I wanted it to be drawn out just a little bit more, or like maybe cut some of the little bit at the beginning to really expand on the last 50 pages. It could have just been drawn out just a little bit more, not gonna lie. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. I really think that Kira Cass is pushing herself as a writer, which I really appreciate. I love writers that go a little bit further and do a little bit more and try to expand themselves and extend themselves in their writing. So props to her. Hollis is a really interesting character. She's very different than some of the other characters that Kira Cass has had. It goes dark, so there's some things that are going to really change her. And I'm really excited to see what those changes are going to bring. I think it's going to be really interesting to the story, and I can't wait to see that. I'm going to have to wait a whole other year for this book, though. I don't know how I'm going to handle the pressure. I don't know how I'm going to handle waiting that long. It's going to be tough, because, oh man, I really, really want to know what's going to happen next. I also really love that there was a little bit of, as I mentioned earlier in my video, you know, she has a lot of issues with her parents and the relationship she has with her parents. That's not been very supportive. The other Iselton family that she becomes involved with are so loving and so supportive, and I love that. I love seeing this representation of family and like how she went from, you know, someone who just wanted to be admired and appreciated for who she was, and she did get that, and I love that exploration into that, because I think that's something that we all need. I think that gave a really great dimension to her character. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I can't tell you how often enough that I think I enjoyed it. I think my final rating, though, is going to be 4 stars, just because the scene with where she decides a little bit too quickly for my taste, and the fact that I feel like I wanted the last 50 pages just drawn out just a little bit. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was very strong and a really great start to the series, which is two. It is a duology. She's still finishing edits, I think, now. So hopefully in a few months we'll get some teasers and maybe get a cover. So I am doing my gold inspired eyeshadow today in honor of Betrothed, because I thought that would be something to do. That would be fun. It was so great. I still really, really enjoyed it. I'm still dying to know what happens next. I don't want to give out too much information because I'm like worried about I'll spoil the whole thing, and I don't want to do that. I really want people to experience it for themselves and really know that it goes in a dark place. And there was tears. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do cry at the drop of a hat. I cry very easily. But it's pretty rare for me to cry in a book. I feel like I cry easier in like movies and TV shows, but a book has to like really move me. And there's a scene where it was at the willow trees and she was talking to someone. Oh man, it was heart-wrenching. Tears, definite tears. And Kara Cass's tweet from the Q&A was that she hoped people would cry from this book. Well, mission accomplished. That was probably the only part I like legit cried. But there was also some tear welling up. A couple of the other scenes towards the end. But that scene was definitely tears. Oh, that was heart-wrenching. And that was beautifully done. I think that was probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole book. I would strongly recommend Betrothed by Kara Cass. I thought it was really great for one of her new books. I'm excited to see what else she has planned for the series, and I'm looking forward to more. If you want more from me, please subscribe to my channel, and I will be back again soon. Bye!